Hello, friends. Yesterday, I gave you the most time-consuming assignment that we are going to have throughout this 30-day SEO Jumpstart SE October challenge. And so today I'm going to buy you some time. And for those of you that are watching live and you have one video a day, this gives you 2 days to get that idea from your brain into the digital space. For those of you that are binging, okay, you can watch this one, but then you really do have to go do the homework. I'm sorry. We can't really go any farther with improving, with writing this blog post in a really great way until you have the idea written down. But my way of pausing the conversation there and giving you a bit more time is that today we're going to be talking about a free tool from Google called Google Search Console. Google Search Console is sort of like, if you've heard of Google Analytics, if you have Google Analytics installed on your site, Google Search Console is sort of like a stepchild of Google Analytics. So where Google Analytics will tell you everything that people do once they land on your site, once they arrive there, Google Search Console will tell you what happens before that. It will tell you every single keyword that you have ever showed up in search results for. It will tell you how many people actually clicked on your search results for those specific keywords, for those specific pages and things you've already created. It will tell you when people don't click on your search results, so that way you can kind of try to figure out what is it that the other search results had that I didn't, and maybe make some updates to what your search result looks like. And we'll talk about that a lot in the coming week. And we'll also tell you exactly what position you and your website is ranking for every keyword, on average over a certain period of time. So let me take you in here and kind of show you how it works to get it installed. Today we are installing it. Next week we will actually look at the information. The reason why is that Google Search Console usually starts when you turn it on. So if I were to say, let's go look at your Google Search Console, and it weren't installed yet, you wouldn't have any data there. At least this way you'll have a week of data. Sometimes it'll start as soon as your Google Analytics gets installed, and sometimes you have to install it in Search Console. A lot of different factors at play here. But here we go, Google Search Console. Here we are. I'm going to move myself back down to the corner again. This is kind of a pain in the butt for a URL. It is search.google.com/search-console. So I would just go to Google and type in Google Search Console. This is what you will see if you've never logged in here before. I'm in a private window, so that way you guys can see kind of what it looks like if you've never logged in. You're going to log in with your Gmail account to sign in for this. So let me do that without, I'm going to pause so that way you guys don't get all my info here. Man, even my old email addresses still have Google Search Console set up. So here's what it's going to look like if you've set up Google Search Console before. You can see this is the love at first search information. You can see exactly how many clicks I've gotten per day over the last 3 months. We'll take a look at the actual report soon. But what I want you to do if you, oh, wow, July 21st, big day. If you don't have this set up already, come up here to the upper left-hand corner and click Add Property. And here you're going to see URL prefix and domain. Domain will get you every single version of your website. So the www and the HTTP and the HTTPS, and without the www. And if you have any subdomains, it'll include it. But you do have to do this like where your website is hosted. So I would have to go into SiteGround, where my WordPress website is hosted, and put in a special piece of text. So for the sake of argument here, I'm just going to come up here, look up my website. Oh, that's not my website. The problem with doing things on 2 screens is it's kind of hard to see. I'm going to look up my website, just copy and paste it. So I see here that it is the HTTPS without the www, and then I'll come back over here and just come over to URL prefix and copy that in. Now, if you wanted to do all of your URL prefixes, you might need to do this 4 times. One for the HTTPS, one without the S, one with the www, one without the www. But usually, www. But usually whatever shows up right here is the place that most people will go to. So if you're feeling like, oh, that sounds like a pain to do 4 of these or to log in, 90% of your traffic is going to go to the one that just shows up in your browser window. So you can do that. And then it will validate. So I already have my domain name set up here, but when you get verified, yours will say how you can verify that information. If you already have Google Analytics installed on your site, then you should be able to take care of this. I'm going to just do ABCs. Enter URL. Why? Oh, I added an extra colon. If you don't have Google Analytics set up or this has not been verified yet, this is what the screen will look like for you. It'll just take a second and go, wait a minute, you aren't already a user on this Google Analytics account. So you have a couple options here. You can download an HTML file and upload it to your website. You may need to have FTP access to your website to do that one. You may be able to add a meta tag to your website. So in this case, you would just copy and paste this into the header section of your website. If you already have Google Analytics installed, you should be able to just click the verify button here. And the same thing, if you already have that DNS record that says this is what this is, here's the information to do that. So depending on what you already have set up on your website, if you already have Google Analytics set up, then you should automatically be able to set this up, or you may need to add just like a very short, Google site verification. I'm not going to copy this whole thing because I don't own abcds.com, but you could just copy and paste this into the header section or before the first body section of your website. And all this information is right here too. So that's how you get this verified. Basically, this is just a way of making sure that you only have access to your information, that nobody else has that access to your information. So it's really a security thing. So that way you can share this information with anybody that you're working with. You can share it with your assistants or any SEO people that you're working with in the future, or web design people, whoever you want to, but this is your information. They want to keep it private. They want to keep it so that only you have access to it. So that's how to install your Google Search Console. Once that's up and running, it usually takes, once you set it up, about 2-ish days to start displaying information. So we'll get back into our Google Search Console in about 6 or 7 videos. So by that point, hopefully we will have some data that we can look at there. And now tomorrow, or in the next video, depending on when you're watching this, we will talk about how to improve and optimize the blog post concept that you just got out of your head. Like when I did this hand motion, I was thinking about the pensive, like Dumbledore will take his memories and put them into the pensive. So take your pensive and get the ideas out of your head and into a place where you can explore them and walk around in them and share them with other people in the same way. And I will see you in the video tomorrow.